Alright. So, this morning, I was outside for about half an hour or so, getting some axe and sword practice in. Treat it as exercise, swing the blade around, like I'm surrounded basically, fighting for real. It's a lot of fun. It's a good mental exercise because you have to visualize opponents coming at you. And then you also have to focus on actually, keeping the blade going and not smacking yourself with it, which I've never done. So I'm an intuitive medieval fighter. There we go. Basically a modern day Viking. I just have a sweet mustache instead of a beard. But anyway, the great sword practice is coming along pretty well. I've figured it out how to use it. I don't obviously know all of the techniques, but I'm just practicing keeping it going, moving the thing. But this is a review on my axes. I thought I saw someone standing beside me. That's weird. I'm the only one here, obviously, besides the cats. And the cats aren't 3 feet tall. That was strange. Anyway, review on the axes. Specifically, this great sparth from Volk Craft on Etsy. This blade is garbage after having actually hit stuff with it. The blade is trash. It rolls, it chips, it's dented. All I did was smack a stick, just a log, not a log, but like a stick, like this. I smacked the stick with this thing. It did absolutely no damage to the stick, the mini log, and it rolled the damn edge. It chipped and rolled the edge on this thing. And it scuffed it up. It put dents in it. I'm sorry, but this is a 6.5 pound, 7 pound blade, and it can't cut a log, like a stick, like a mini log. And not only can it not cut it, it doesn't damage it, and the blade gets fucked up. Contrast that with the 3.5 pound cold steel Viking axe. Not only did that destroy the log, or I call it a log, but really it's like a half log. It absolutely destroyed it, okay? Smashed it, cracked it, blah, blah, chopped it up. I was swinging it around and I ended a chain with a strike into the ground. I practiced the old sweep the leg, drop the blade on their face. Anyway, there was a buried rock I obviously didn't know about. Smacked into the rock. I felt the vibration and everything, heard it, it makes that nice ringing sound. So I'm like, I just fucked up my good axe. I pulled the axe out of the ground, and what do I see? Absolutely no edge damage on that. Absolutely nothing on there. And it's covered in rock dust. So it chipped into the rock and probably cracked the damn rock. If I'd have done that with this thing, it probably would have knocked the whole edge off. Or probably would have pulled it out, and I've been like, oh my goodness. Would have been completely wrecked, given what the log did to it. Whereas the Chad Cold Steel is just no problem, man. Let me smack a tank, son. And it ain't gonna do anything to it. Cold Steel makes a good product. This thing, absolutely no damage. It's not super sharp either, and it's still cutting into the logs, the trees, the wood. This thing is it's sharp. I don't want to run my finger on it too much, because it is sharp. It's a sharp blade, but I'll do it up here because that's where I've hit most of the stuff, and it's all warped and rolled and dulled. And all I did was smack little sticks too. I'm the little sticks mess up this blade, this edge on this blade. Not even the big ones. And the cold steel is just I'll take it, smack it, doesn't matter. Do with me as you will, and no damage, absolutely nothing. The only damage on this blade, and it's very, very minor bit of rolling, is when I inadvertently smacked a very large stone that was underground. And you can barely tell on the edge there. You can barely tell what I'm talking about. You see it right there. It's that little black mark up in the top bit. It looks black anyway. That's the chip. That's it. That's the only discernible damage on the blade. That's it. This thing is absolutely vicious. And it's a lot easier to swing. It's 3.5 pounds versus 7. So it's literally half the weight. and it's more durable on top of that. This thing is basically an inefficient hammer. I love the way it looks. I love the way it's fitted. He did an amazing job with the fitting and the cast. It looks great. It's incredibly well fitted. Definitely. The haft is amazing also. He makes those. The haft is fantastic. The edge, though. The edge is just too... And I could forgive it and just say, it's a blade meant for like fine work, people. It's meant to cut into flesh. The problem is, this thing is half an inch thick. It's half an inch thick. And it weighs 7 pounds. I expect more durability out of something that weighs 7 pounds and gets swung around on a stick. I expect this to be damn near indestructible. And that edge is just so not that. It's terrible, honestly. So yeah, this is an updated review of the edge itself, and the blade part. It's crap. It can't cut sticks. It just hits hard. I know this design is or was used. It's not used anymore. It was used to smack people in mail. But you need a more robust edge. Like, why even put an edge on it at that point? Just leave it blunt. Or something like this. Instead of a razor edge. I mean, this thing can't even cut through sticks. So yeah, I've had to change my opinion on this axe, unfortunately. On top of that, it's just not fun to swing around. It's a bit too long. I tend to... Some of the moves that I would do with the cold steel, this one tends to smack me. It's just that extra 2 or 3 inches. So that's not good. I mean, I could fix that problem pretty easily though, so I'm not too concerned about that. The main problem is that blade. Anytime I test it, even if I'm just trying to like smack a small stick, it gets fucked up. So I don't like that. Whereas the cold steel literally, just casually smacks into a rock and then chips into the rock. And the only thing on the blade is some rock dust that I just wipe off casually, and it's totally fine. Yeah. So I've had to reevaluate my after having got to test it and hit stuff with it. I have to update the review on this Volk Craft Great Sparth. I can't recommend it, and he raised his prices, but the absolute inefficiency of the blade, I can't recommend it. Just go get a cold steel great axe for like $160, and it's damn near indestructible. Even the Hanway Danish axe, the 40-incher, that blade is incredibly durable. I only tweaked the tip, and again, I smacked into a rock. But only the tip bent a little bit. The blade is great. That blade on there is damn near indestructible. It's just that haft is awful. And I haven't rehafted it yet. The only one I have that it would fit on would be this one. And I'm not taking this one off because this blade is amazing. So, yeah, I can't recommend the Volk Craft axe. And I don't know that I'm going to buy from him again because this blade is awful once I've really got to use it. Because, like I said, the annoying ass neighbors had a hissy fit anytime I go outside. But they're gone, thankfully. And, yep. It's just a shame because, I really love the way it looks. I don't mind the weight either. I just want I want to justify the weight of it, and I can't because the blade is crap. And I mean, if you're gonna roll and get chipped smacking a stick, not even the fat stick, like the little sticks, like that ain't right, man. I should not do that. So cold steel all the way for the axes, and then the cold steel Viking hand axe is also a tank. It's I've chopped into a tree rather, and notched it up real good, and it still splits stuff. It has a big chunk taken out of it because I smacked into a rock. Go figure. And it's fine. it's totally fine. The Honshu sword, the Claymore, that blade's amazing. The Cold Steel Viking sword blade is amazing. Don't buy weapons off Etsy, kids. They're not well made. I think what is likely the case is this has not been properly treated. It's just a hunk of steel that was like shaped into this, and that was the extent of it. So it was probably not heat treated or quenched or anything like that. That's why this edge, I would assume, has been so easily nicked and damaged by like stuff that shouldn't do it. Whereas this is a properly made blade, and the swords are properly made, and a very well made blades on the Honshu in particular. The Viking sword is great too, but it does have a little more wear on it from hitting the same stuff that I put the Honshu through. And the Honshu Claymore is just like, there's nothing on it. Like, it's a little bit scratched because I got the blacked one, the blued one, whatever you want to call that. But that's the extent of it. The blade is great. It is more prone to rusting. I do have to really maintain that one. Whereas the Cold Steel Viking sword, it's a tank. It's a beast of a sword. But yeah, the edge is still very sharp. I've not sharpened it at all. Feels a little toothy, but it cuts well. Once you figure out how to actually swing a Viking sword, you want that handshake grip, which I can't do. Like, I guess like this. You don't want to choke it like this. Like, never mind. You handshake grip and then shoulder cut, and it's real good for that. So yeah, anyway, I don't recommend the Volk Craft axe anymore. I'm going to take the old video down because that was made without me testing it. I just assumed that based on the quality of the rest of it, which is fantastic, I just assumed the rest of it would be as durable, and it's not. It's not at all. I'm not happy with how that performed at all. I could see if I like smacked a tree or if I chopped through OSB board, I'd be like, all right, it's not made to that standard. Like, cold steel is known for overbuilding stuff, but just a little stick, I can't in good conscience recommend that. So that video will come down. I no longer recommend buying this at all. I'm sorry for the old video, but that's what happens when you can't test stuff properly. It's not very durable at all. Buy it if you want something that looks cool and you want good like craftsmanship on your haft and how the blade is fitted. That fitting, though, for real, that is immaculate. That is fantastic work. I'm not trying to knock the guy. I just don't like the blade. But maybe it wasn't intended for what I do with it. So, peace.